we're not going to turn it around here at all. And we're not going to bring it in here at all. And yes, you can do that. I want you to turn your left hand upside down. And you saw what happened with my shoulder, this shoulder here. So what happens, as soon as I do that, that shoulder comes in. I want you to bring it in, as you swing, I want you to bring it into your hip. So your left hand becomes an anchor for your whole swing. And what that does, it actually aligns it with the front wall, and it stays aligned with the front wall. So once again, it'll almost be an anchor, but it won't come into my hip because it's higher. Okay, today we're going to work on your left hand for a right-handed player with a standard forehand drive. So when you learn, this is a great system to use that will really help you develop your swing and be able to actually use your body in what I perceive is a better way to get better outcomes. So a lot of people are taught to go from here and to step this way. That's the first thing where we want to talk about because it's a little bit awkward. And I know you do have to step that way sometimes, so it is good to actually train that way sometimes, and you have to actually be confident at it, but you don't want to step that way if you don't have to. The reason is because it all goes around your body, and then people start to do this with their left hand when they turn around the leg. It becomes really awkward, and you get that pivoting, turning around your body where you can lose balance really easy, and it becomes a problem. So your left hand is there for balance, so instead of stepping that way, if we can step in the direction that we're hitting, all this structure then goes into your body. Instead of this turning around a midpoint, we now get this drive forward. We get that drive forward into the ball, which is into the same direction as we're hitting, so it goes really well. So that drive forward there works fantastically. So that's what we're looking for, and that's what we want to achieve. So basically we can go 45 step, which is pretty good, so it's halfway between there and there. I love to step that way, and you can even step that way, and there's no trouble as long as you get the spacing right. So there's nothing wrong with stepping this way, as long as you get the spacing right, and then your body's really structured, and you can hit really well, and you can hit wherever you like. So there's no problems where this step goes. I would suggest that you go back foot there, and back foot, and back foot, and back foot, and back foot. But there's another video on all that, and we'll talk about that at another time. So we're going to step 45 degrees because it's the best way to step, and we're going to use our left hand. Now with your left hand, if you can start it pointing towards the front wall. Okay, so your left hand here, start it pointing towards the front wall, and then we're going to try and keep it in the same position. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to turn it around here at all. And we're not going to bring it in here at all. And yes, you can do that. Sometimes you might do that a little bit, just there, just for comfort. Yeah, so it might move in just a little bit, but it won't move in a lot. So we'll start it towards the front wall as rule number one. Secondly, I want you to turn your left hand upside down. And you saw what happened with my shoulder, this shoulder here. So what happens, as soon as I do that, that shoulder comes in. And that gets your whole body, upper body prepped, primed, and engaged. So just by doing that, so instead of being static, just here, all of a sudden my whole upper body is engaged, simply by turning it upside down. 90% of people in the world, as I've seen, basically will turn their arm upside down to some degree. Some might only be around about there, but very few stay there. Yeah? But a lot of them go that way, as far as they can, and it's for that shoulder. That's the one we want. So your left hand gives you stability. All right, the third component is acted with the swing. So what happens is I want you to go from here, left hand's out there, it's turned upside down. I want you to bring it in, as you swing, I want you to bring it into your hip. Now I am turning my body, because I'm going to hit off this hip. So I'm going to turn here, and then that's it. And then that will finish. So what this does, it actually allows your wrist to go down the floorboard more when you strike, rather than around. So watch what happens here. Well, I go here, there, and I bring this in here, and that comes in there. Now my wrist is going to go from there down the floorboard more instead of around here. So that whole motion there of turning. So what you'll do is you'll turn early, and your racket will then go down the floorboard, and that will come in, and you'll finish your racket up here, and you're facing pretty much this way. So therefore everything becomes more towards what I call an advanced swing right from almost day one as a beginner. So we're trying to get away from the beginner, where we teach people to go from here and turn around here. These are big muscles hitting, which is good, but the problem is it's just the racket's not in the right spot for very long. It's all this round business, and you have to do it sometimes. So there is no problem, because sometimes full extension you simply have to. But if you're going to go full extension, what's going to happen, I tell you, is from here, if you're going to go full extension, hit there, you're going to hit there and you're not going to swing through. You're not going to follow through, because if I follow through there, I'm going to fall over. So you're going to follow through to there. So you're only going to swing there and stop if you can, and even lift it up there on the follow through. So you're not going to turn around your body even when you're stepping well out this way on full extension. It's just not going to happen if you know what you're doing. So we want to try and make sure that we have our left hand upside down, and it's like a pump. So I use funny words and funny analogies. It's like I'm pumping water. So from there, bring it in as that comes through, and it acts like an anchor. So your left hand becomes an anchor for your whole swing. And what that does, it actually aligns it with the front wall, and it stays aligned with the front wall. So if that's one consistent point there, it means that you've got really good balance through the ball and really good structure through the ball to know where the ball is and how it works. So then it becomes pretty neat. So it's a great system. So there you go. That is your left hand for a right-handed player. What you do, it's there for balance. Use it for balance. Don't keep it in here, and don't keep it up here. Keep it under here. Yep. So it's lower than your racket there, lower than your racket here. And bring it into here and finish it into there, and it's pretty cool. Sometimes I won't bring it right in. Sometimes I might go up there, you bring it there, and that might be where it stays. So for a volley there, it will be up there. So once again, it'll almost be an anchor, but it won't come into my hip because it's higher. But if it's down here, it will come into my hip because it's lower. But if it's up there, it will stay up there, and it'll probably cross out to about there. So I sort of stay there and try and hold my body and hold my structure. It's almost like I'm holding onto something to work against it. So I can hold that there, and if you want to practice that, just try and hold something there. You'll find it's pretty good, works pretty well, but you're probably going to have to bring it in here. You can hit there and keep it out there. No problems at all with that. I need to bring it in here to get that muscle against that muscle, this one against this one a little bit, and therefore I get more control. Anyway, there's your left hand for a forehand for absolute beginner through to quite good player and even elite player. That's exactly what they'll do. Bang there, off it'll go. Fantastic shot.